And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day.
Eric's back. Eric's back.
From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park Lights.
Come on, Jay.
Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Myself, Glenn, and Lou, we're here. Talk some Giants baseball. Here it is. What is it? Wednesday, hump day. Week is halfway done. Yeah, how about that? Got some Giants baseball on the TV today, Glenn. NBC Sports Bay Area had the first broadcast of the 2026 season, a spring training game. Before we got on there, I think the score was like, 8-3 or something. I mean, the Giants, I tell you one thing. Giants are really clobbering the ball during the spring training. If I'm not mistaken, I think they, last I saw, this was over the weekend, I think they were leading the Cactus League, or was it all of spring training in runs scored? Pitching, on the other hand, is a little bit weird. We'll get into this here shortly. Title of the show.
Game? What was that game? You were talking about the one on NBC. Was that earlier today?
NBC,
No,
yeah, started at
tonight's
6
going on
o'clock.
right- 6 o'clock our time. It's 8-4 right now in the seventh, bottom of the
Yeah.
seventh.
Yeah, it's still underway. Yeah, we're watching that one in progress.
There it is.
Okay,
And
I didn't know there was a split squad.
No.
You're just
I don't think
back.
so.
Don't throw a curve at me. Hold on.
I don't think it was. I don't think it. Is there a split squad? I haven't even seen if there's going to be split squads. You usually don't know. You don't know. Usually it's during the week, and you don't hear too much about it. But the title of today is going to be the Giants suffer a couple of bullpen injuries, guys, and this is not going to be good. We could get into it a little bit later, but both Joel Perguero got a grade 2 hammy. He's probably going to be out for at least 2 months, right? With a hammy, usually that's where it is. And Reiver Sanmartin, the guy that they signed in the offseason, he was going to be probably one of the lefties coming out of the bullpen. It sounds like he's got a hip flexor issue going on, and he had to leave the WBC.
Mhm.
So this is not good, especially with the Giants in their bullpen situation. We're already wondering what the hell is going to go on with the bullpen. I don't know if I want all these young guys to get the spots, because I think some of them still have to work on their craft to a certain extent. I mean, this is something we're going to talk about, Glenn. I mean, what do you think you think the Giants should maybe make a trade, maybe hit free agents, or would you be okay? And I'm not talking about closer, because I think the closer's already set in stone with Ryan Walker. But how are we going to address this if we got two guys that are going to be on the IL to start the season?
Listen, were your ears burning on Monday night? Lou and I had mentioned you, and I said, Eric kept saying, nope, there's going to be moves. Even though, Lou, what did I say on Monday night? I said, the Giants kept telling us, this is what we got. We like the young guys, but we kept holding out some kind of hope that, they were lying to us as usual. Well, the one thing that I see, Eric, more than anything, not just these injuries, which you're going to focus in great detail tonight about, is the fact that it's the middle of the road guys, your middle of the road pitchers, who got to be the glue that holds this season together. If there's an injury in the starting rotation, it's going to be Seymour. It's going to be you can pick your poison out of our bullpen. Who could fill in as a starter? And it's these guys tonight. We're talking about that game in progress. Another outing where Carson Seymour, a couple of innings, 3 runs on 3 hits.
Yeah.
It is habitual. They are not consistently good is the problem. Consistently bad and there are people, and I've heard them in the last 24 hours. You know, I got my ear to the radio,
ear to the rail
channels, and they're all saying, and we have been prone to say this. It's preseason.
Yeah. Correct.
But listen, we're halfway through. We're a couple of weeks out, and we'll be having our little party over there at Tommy's. We're not going to be talking about another. Well, don't worry, we got another month of preseason. Eric, the preseason goes, especially with this WBC, is going to fly by pretty quickly. And unless these guys can turn it around, what I'm seeing, I believe, is what you just might get. And on one other note, speaking of pitching, to my concern, people are saying, oh my God, Team USA, they destroyed the Giants yesterday. But all our good hitters, they were. Eric, it wasn't, Bader wasn't serving up sliders. Wasn't our on-field players pitching. The pitching absolutely stunk against major league quality. And that is where I lay my concern. How about you, Lou?
I think today, we're talking about pitchers. We now have 3 of our lefties that pitched for us last year that are all having problems. Besides the 2 you mentioned, Eric Miller's having problems, lower back. He might not make it. Sam Hintage, however you say that last name, I'll just say Sam H. He's having problems. He's uncertain his availability. I don't know if you guys realize, but opening day is in 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You shouldn't have problems like this. It's 3 weeks away. Okay. So it's gotten to the point now where, and again, the WBC, what we talked about, and this was one of my concerns, is sometimes people do a little bit extra because you're competing with your country, your pride. You do that little extra.
You get up a little bit. Yeah, you get up a little bit.
So Sam Martin, he got injured for another country, not the Giants. And it was sort of a fluke play that he got the injury. He was a comebacker. That's all it was. Yeah. But he got injured. Strange things happen. So, the thing with the Giants, yesterday watching the WBC, it was our starter got rocked. Okay. I wrote Glenn 8 pitches in. We already gave up, I think it was 3 hits, 2 runs, and he only pitched 1 strike. So I think the key thing with the Giants is we're hitting, and we've known about that, Eric. We said our offense is going to be better, but the way we're looking at, especially with our schedule, is it's going to feel like we're playing in Colorado. It's going to be a lot of 10-8 games, 12-8 games. I'm glad our offense is doing good, but it's going to come down to pitching. Tonight, Ray started. He pitched 2 2/3. I think gave up 3 runs. Again, I know not only is it spring training, the ball is all different for pitchers when you're in Arizona. It doesn't curve as much. The fastball doesn't break as much. I understand that. But you guys got to remember the Giants first, I think it's 3 out of 11 games are on the road. So they got to do something. 3 weeks. I'm just worried. The other thing, too, is Glenn brought up a great point with Seymour. Does this guy pitch every single day? I think he
seems to go out there often, don't he?
Yeah, he's pitched so many innings now. Again, he might be because they're trying to build up his arm strength. But when you come in and you get shellacked and you're only pitching inning, it just doesn't work that way. What they need is some of these guys to pitch 3 innings, and 60, 70 pitches. You got to get that arm ready because the schedule itself being so unique to start where we're off on the Thursday and then we're off on the Sunday, but then we have only 1 break for 17th. So these guys are going to be pitching a lot and we're going to need them. So, I thought it's one of those things. And again, I'm glad the offense is doing well, so we have something to talk about, but I'm really concerned about the starters. Again, another starter 2 days ago, Eric got shellacked again. So again, I know the first couple innings is always the toughest for a starter, but some of our starters have been coming in the 2nd and 3rd inning and getting shellacked. So really, I'm just a little concerned because we need to start off good. And again, I think right now, offense is great. Just pitching, there's just a lot of question marks.
And Eric,
but on that, I am excited to see Webb on Friday open up for the WBC.
Yeah.
and as to what Lou said, again, another day you had, I think it was a maintenance day, a scheduled maintenance day last week for you when Lou and I were covering the post-game reaction of the Milwaukee game. If you remember that, Lou, what did I tell you? That was, I believe, a carbon copy of exactly what Lou's talking about. What we're going to see this year, kind of like opening day last year. Hey, the Giants scored 12 runs. But Milwaukee scored 13. That might be what we see this year. You're going to have to try to outslug other teams, and you're just going to have to try to beat up on their pitching, because I certainly believe that a lot of teams are going to beat up on ours.
And I tell you, and this is something that I've been talking about for some time, is the pitching. That is a concern, and it still is. And I think we're starting to see it a little bit here. Now, granted, we got 3 weeks to go until the regular season, but there's been a few I don't know what you want to call it. Concerns, I guess we could say, just concerns.
And I think they're legitimate, though, aren't they, Eric?
They are.
Did you see a couple of comments in the chat? People saying, well, the Dodgers should be good. The Dodgers have no need to be concerned about pitching. They got about 12 starters, and we got 2.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know, we got, and you talked about it, right? Eric Miller, we'll say Sam H, and now Reiver Sanmartin, right? That's 3 lefties that are all battling something. One, of course, Sam is recovering from surgery on his knee and his shoulder. Eric Miller, he was throwing, but now he's throwing off a flat ground because of his back. Who is the other? Reiver. We don't know what's going on. I don't know if this hip flexor is going to be anything or not. I hope it's nothing too serious. I mean, he's, for precautionary reasons, right? They pulled him out of the WBC. So hopefully
they do say he's doubtful for opening day.
He's doubtful. Oh, well, there you go.
So that concerns me, because, you know, it's 3 weeks away and you're already saying he's doubtful.
Right.
So
and then you got Perguero. Perguero's definitely Perguero. You're not going to see Perguero until May. At the minimum, we're not going to see him until May. And that guy he's the one guy that could come out of the bullpen and throw you 100. And now the Giants don't have that option. So now this is something that we're going to have to talk about. Senior's asking a question about Denver. I haven't heard anything. The only thing I heard is last weekend that he has a tight hammy. That's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything else since then. So your guess is good as mine on what's going on with Rafi. Maybe they're probably slow rolling him. It's spring training. For position players, you really don't need an entire month to play baseball. You can get away with, you know, maybe doing 2 weeks worth of work, and then you'll be fine, ready for the season. The pitchers, on the other hand, is a little bit different, just a little bit different, for the simple fact that you got to build up your arm strength. But here we go. So how are we gonna address this? I'm gonna ask you guys this. Lou, I'm gonna go to you. How do you address, if we're gonna have all these guys? Let's just say if Reiver is gone, is it lefty? I think they already planned on Sam not even starting on the roster anyway, so we'll just take him out of it. And then you got Perguero. That is Perguero, however you pronounce his name. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But who's going to take those spots? We already got one spot that's being fought for one of the young guys. And, you know, a lot of people are talking Trevor McDonald as maybe being one of the guys. Birdsong at this particular time hasn't shown anything. We'll see what happens. Seymour today, he got lit up pretty good with 3 runs and 2 2/3. I don't know.
Yeah, I think someone like Matt Gage.
Matt Gage could be a lefty, but he kind of got lit up. Then again, well, actually, he got lit up. The filler. He might be.
And then the other thing too is it's sort of starting to become contagious. Is, you know, some other pitchers are pitching in the WBC, not for USA, but for other countries. I know. Beck is pitching for Israel. Him and I think his brother is playing. Both of them are playing for Israel. So again, the one thing about the WBC is some of these guys are playing the WBC. It helps our young guys hitting wise, but it also, here we are in pitching where we sort of need a full deck, and we have injuries, people going down. Some other guys that we can depend on are pitching up with their countries. So let me put it this way. We're giving every single guy on the roster an opportunity. So they better figure out of giving so many people, because of the WBC, instead of only 24 pitches, we're probably giving 35 an opportunity to, for opening day. He better know what he's doing. And this is where it really depends on the coaches. And again, we have a brand new manager who's never experienced this. He probably never experienced this at Tennessee. But, it's the same way where I think, we keep talking about the offense. There are a lot of players that are very similar. Our outfield, a lot of these guys are very similar where, I heard Tony V tonight during the game. He's saying, a lot of them we'll have three of the same guys playing right field who are going to back up Lee, but they all bring something to the table. I think there's going to be some guys that are cut that are going to be surprised that they're not on the roster anymore. I really do. Because when you have three guys that are similar, and you got to do extra pitching the first month of the season, you got to have that extra pitching because you just don't know how long they're going to last. And, that's where it's going to be some real tough decisions for the Giants front office, Tony V, and the coaches.
Yeah, let me get to this. What Mike Val said. Michael Kopech is still out there. I'll tell you what. I talked to Marty about that on his show, the last live stream he did. And from what he's hearing, he asked that question to some of the people in the Giants organization. They said, no way. I guess that guy is he's all over the place as far as his command. I mean, I guess he is not ready. I don't know if it's injury or whatever, but it sounds like Michael Kopech is no, stay away from the guy. So
was he? Has he got an arm like Steve Sachs at second base?
There you go. As far as trying to find someone. And here's the thing. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. This is something else that Marty brought up too. He would like to see the young kids get the innings in AAA, right? You're not going to lose them. They have options. It's not like they have to be on the roster because he thought, hey, start off the season with your veterans. If you start off the season with your veterans, you're kind of in a better place because they've done it before. Rather than you got these young guys who've never done it before. This is their first really big experiments or experience in the major leagues, and coming out of the bullpen. If it's something that you're not used to, it could be a little bit weird. That's why it's good to get guys who have done this. So, man, I tell you, if the Giant, I know you guys already talked about, the April schedule. It ain't going to be easy. Now the Giants are hitting, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the hitting. And I'm pleasantly surprised on how well the Giants are hitting because the Giants are going to need it. They need to going to have to score runs. But man, I tell you, there is something about this pitching I'm not sitting well with. And I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope we get in there and, they're going to come out and deal with it. Glenn, is there anybody that you're intrigued about maybe that could either fill it or do you see someone in-house that you could go, hey, maybe we'll give him a shot and see what happens?
Not particularly. I'm a little intrigued, kind of on the outside looking in. How come a guy like Wilmer Flores hadn't even gotten a phone call yet, Eric? There are a lot of players out there, whether it's on the on-field or the pitching side of things, who are still available. You just throw Kopech there. There's a lot of reasons, though, why some of these players haven't been signed. And that all goes toward what we see, among the Giants fandom. Lou, I know, can speak to this because we were battling. We were battling the chat the other night, Eric, while you were taking your one-night break because, they say, why, Glenn is super salty or Lou is super salty and Glenn's just downright evil. He's evil because we tell it like it is. Eric, we're talking more. You occasionally say about how great they're hitting. I don't see you saying, wow, the pitching this spring has been great. No. Oh, wow, they're going to win like the month of April is going to be. We're always entering the season talking about the question marks, the what ifs and the why fors. And it's the same every year. We never seem to enter the season, Eric, with a solid lineup. And you can debate me all you want. That's my opinion. We never show depth anywhere, anytime, any season. It always leaves us with too many questions, not enough answers.
And it's funny.
And the pitching staff, not just the starters. I am rather concerned about the bullpen too, Eric.
That's where I'm at. I'm concerned about the bullpen.
People are talking about, we think legitimately because we really don't have an answer. We think we know who the closer.
We think we know.
Well, we don't know who the closer is.
We
We don't know who the closer is. We don't have a setup man, anything quite like we had last year. So I'm more fearful that not only are we going to have to face those nights, Eric, where we're getting beat 14-12 and we lose those games. But Lou, Eric, I've watched enough baseball to know when you've got a slugging team who can go out there and pound out that many hits, they often follow up where the next night they get 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
You're battling that as well. They're either red hot or icy cold, and it's just
consistent.
The
you got to have the consistency.
If they had, and listen, is it any? The big question mark for me is the Giants knew. Eric. Lou. The fans know. The chat knows. We know what the issues are. Why haven't the Giants addressed the real issue, the real turkey on the table?
Well, I mean, here's the problem. Because the Giants, they had so many holes they had to fill, right? They had to fill so many holes. And look, Buster Posey, as far as the lineup is concerned, I thought did a pretty good job. The pitching, on the other hand, we've already talked about that. But here's the thing. The lineup this is probably, honestly, the lineup that they're going to throw out here for the beginning of the 2026 season, as long as there's no injuries, is probably going to be the best lineup we've seen in some time. Honestly, it's a balanced lineup, and I think that it's going to do well. And I'm okay. I'm pleasantly surprised with how our lineup is going to look starting in on March 25th. 3 weeks, right? Damn near 3 weeks from today. The game would probably be it should just be finishing up 3 weeks from today. And
but how do you know that, Eric? How do you know? You don't know.
No. It's all
Harry
paper.
Bader's never been an everyday player. You don't know what you're going to get.
It's the same thing with the Dodgers.
New position. Is he going to continue? Every year he's declining. Do you think all of a sudden he's going to get better?
Jung-Hoo Lee was a right fielder in the KBO, so he's used to playing.
But his batting average is going backwards, not up.
No, his batting average is okay because he finished strong. He finished with like almost a 270, if I'm not mistaken, and that's pretty good.
Patrick Bailey leaves us one short in the batting lineup again.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be so focused on Patrick Bailey because I think they went out there, they got Bader. He's going to be better than what they have had. They're going to go out there and they got Arias. That guy's going to be fantastic with the bat. We all know that. So I think and if you notice, if you watch Matt Chapman, the guy has a different approach than he did the years past. He's not out there trying to kill it. If you watch today's game, I love the approach he took. He took the ball to right field. It was a beautiful hit. I think he's batting like 500 in spring. Granted, it's spring training, but at least you got to have to go on something. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, Glenn, is yes, we don't know. They could come out and they could absolutely shit the bed. Or they could come out and hit pretty good. It's the same thing with the Dodgers. Everybody's already
Lou, you and I should both
pencil in them. They're going to win the West, right? And I get it. I understand it because you got to play there. Yeah, and then it freezes. And then look, they could go out there and they can totally crap the bed themselves. And next thing you know, it could be someone else. I mean, on paper, right? That's what I'm just going by. The Giants, I think, are going to be okay. My biggest concern, I'm telling you, is going to be the damn pitching.
I think we all agree on that. Is that there are runs to be scored this year? But
yes,
and I'll throw out what Lou said. Eric, I want to hear Lou, Eric, don't you agree? When Lou touched on there could be cuts, we don't like. They're going to be shockers. The one name that I'm not hearing him. I don't see him get many at bats. That's our old pal Encarnacion. He's been kind of like an odd man looking in right now. Where is he?
Matos is having a decent spring.
Exactly.
Not so much. Blue, I'm going to ask you this question because you were watching a game. Did you see the Adrian Hauser interview?
I did not.
Okay, so they asked him, how many innings do you think you want to pitch? And he says he wants to pitch as many as he can. He said the number he gave it, look, these are just, and this is all if you're healthy and you could go out there and you could get it. He wants to pitch 180 to 200 innings. And I was like, okay. He says he's really prepared. Dude, he went into his regimen. He does cold plunges every day and tries to do the sauna, and he's on a carnivore type diet. And he's talking about taking better care of his body. But he said, hey, he wants to go out there and he wants to get 30 to 35 starts and pitch as much as he can. And look, you want to hear that, and that's good. Now, once the season starts, is he going to be able to do that is a different story. But we'll see. I mean, what do you make? I mean, what's your biggest concern? Is it kind of equal with the rotation in the bullpen, or does one concern you more than any other?
Well, I think after Webb, I'm very concerned about the starters. Very concerned. And I think last year we probably were 6 deep in our 5-man rotation. I think we'll be lucky to be too many question marks. A lot of our young guys who might be a possible 4th, 5th starter, they've tried to change and they've been getting blasted. And again, I don't mean to, I know it's spring training, but Birdsong blasted. I think his ERA is 87. What's his name? The guy that throws a changeup. He got blasted again. He's had 3 starts, blasted. And what I mean by blasted, it's not that they're giving up runs. They're only pitching a third, maybe an inning and a third. How do we expect somebody when the season starts who's only pitching 1 and a third innings to maybe possibly be our 5th or 6th starter? You guys got to remember the first month of the season, except for someone like Webb, not even Ray, no one's going to pitch 7, 8 innings. You're going to be lucky to get 4 or 5 innings. Then you go to the long relief. Those guys have been getting blasted. And then now with all these injuries, we have guys, and I think, Eric, you brought up a great point, that have never done it before. Okay? And I think what we got to start doing, forget about the Dodgers. The Dodgers are in such a different class. Let's just worry about us, the San Francisco Giants. Yeah. Okay? What can we do? Because if you remember last year, the season started off great. I think it was, 24-12? Right?
Yeah, they started off fantastic.
So that took away all the other problems. Our defense, hitting, running, scoring position. Now when the season starts, I don't see us going 24-12. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm trying to face reality where and I see guys in the chat saying, oh, we'll stay close to being 500. That'll be fine. If we're 5 games below 500, that'll be fine. But when you have so many question marks about pitching, you guys, we got to be realistic. It's going to be more like closer to Glenn than 500. 10, 11, 12, like 12 and 24. That's what it's going on because you have Webb only every 5 days. Exactly. So out of that, you have basically 6 starts with him. Okay, he's not going 6-0. Say he goes 4-2, so there's 2 losses. Ray's having a tough time because he says he's still feeling out spring training. That's fine. He's a veteran. He's proven himself, but he gets 6 starts. So say he goes 3-3. There's 5 starts. So right now you're 5-5 with your 2 best pitchers. But then 3, 4, and 5, these guys are not pitching well. Our long relief's not pitching well. We have a closer who we know is going to be closer because we have nobody else. And I think, Eric, nobody's really stepped up. And if you remember what they said, we had 20 out of 30, the 40-man roster had 26 pitchers to begin the spring because they wanted someone young to step up. I have not seen anyone that's really stepped up. So now that brings another problem. Oh, shit. None of these young guys are really fulfilling what we need. Now it becomes desperate. Either we have to make a move or we just have to go in and we hope. We can't just hope, okay? We're going against teams that are better than us where we need guys that are going to perform and do the job. If we go out, hopefully these guys can hope, you know what? We'll be lucky to win 10, and Glenn will be right going 10-24. That's just my concern. It's not like it's an easy part of the schedule. I know the other night, one of our celebrity speakers said, well, we got to play him sometime. But, Eric, when you play first 34 games and it's one of the toughest schedules in baseball, it doesn't matter what you do in May and June because you've had such a bad first month, and it's just one of those things. I think we got to start facing reality. We need some of these young guys to step up, and our shows have been going Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It seems like every 48 hours there's news. This wasn't great news. 2 of our guys, one not even playing with our team goes down, pitching. So I think that's the key. I'm hoping Friday something's big. Hey, did you guys see this kid? I've never heard of him. He's new from AA that is shutting down people. I know we're winning, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, you got to really look and read between the lines. Why are we winning? And it's just one of those things. Are we winning because it's like 14-10? I like tonight's game. 9-4. That's a good one because that means the starter who gave up a few, but it's been our bullpen. I'm just worried the bullpen means a lot more this year than it's done the last couple of years because really bullpen was really our strength. Now it's sort of our weakness.
Right.
You know why we're winning? You know why we're winning, Lou? People are stepping up. They're really stepping it up. There's a number of players who've really stepped it up. Only problem is, and this is why we win last preseason the best record. This preseason, look at the pace we're on. World Series type pace, but don't let it fool you. Look at tonight's game. Holton, 4 RBIs. Who, Eric? Jay Holton. Yeah. Don't know who that is. Every day I'm seeing names. The only guy who's really stepped up for me to the point where all of a sudden I got those military-grade binoculars on him, wondering what the heck he's doing. You know who, when Lou says stepping up, I think of a guy who realizes I got an opportunity and I got to grasp it and hold on to it and not let it go. And you know who that is in this year's roster? It's Tyler Fitzgerald. He's producing every single day. They're giving him a lot of at-bats, and that also goes back to there's players who aren't. The Encarnaciones of the world. I don't know where he is. He's not getting many at-bats. Tyler Fitzgerald's almost in there every day, Eric. And the other players, again, who are going to be AA, AAA guys, Oliva, he had an RBI tonight. Grant McCray, good for him. He had an RBI. But it's a lot of the production in the preseason coming off young bats who aren't even going to be here.
And here's the thing, though. That battle for that 26th position, I tell you, man, it always happens. I see Tom talking about Holton's look good. He's batting 400. He's actually had a good spring. And who is he? I have no idea who this guy is. Honestly, I have no idea.
Eric, that grand slam was an oppo. Yeah. And
that was an opposite.
Shellacked.
And he put that into the damn Charo Lodge. So now, granted, the ball flies in spring. I mean, because you got to remember, Arizona, their elevation is the second highest elevation right behind Colorado. So if you get a hold of one, it's going to fly. And to your point,
don't let a week fool you. Don't let it. You can't let a game fool you or a week fool you. A week in your career 100%. Does not make the career.
Look, 100%. 100%. One at bat does not make a determination on whether the guy is going to make a freaking club or it just isn't. That's not the way it works.
Right.
You got to take the totality. This is the thing with baseball. Sure, we're going to analyze every game after the post game, right? In the moment. But then you put that over a stretch of a month, of 2 months, 3 months, and by the end, 6 months, then you get the totality of what the guy is going to produce. And that's the thing is a lot of people will get hung up in one game and it means nothing in the totality. Yeah, he might have one stinker, but then guess what? A week later, he could have a game for the ages. And then it's totally forgotten about. It's just it's the nature of baseball, man. Because it's every day. That's the problem. Because it's every single damn day. And you know what? I tell you what, Lou, you're talking about making moves, right? I tell you what, March 14th, there will be some moves, man.
Come see Eric, Glenn, and Lou for the Giants Sports Talk Live meet and greet, March 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Tommy's Mexican Restaurant, home of the world-famous Tommy Margarita.
I'm Julio Bermejo, the North American Ambassador of Tequila, here at Tommy's Mexican Restaurant, where we will welcome Giants Sports Talk Live, March 14th. Come see Glenn, Eric, and Super Salty Lou here at Tommy's and learn all about the Tommy's Margarita.
There we go.
I've just come to the realization. See, I thought Super Salty Lou had to do with his crustiness and his scowl. Maybe that's the way he likes his margaritas. What do you think?
Oh, man, that's funny. Hey, check it out, Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Hope everything is well with you. He says projections have this team at 80-85 wins. See, I don't like it. I said it's going to be 81 to 82. But you know what I don't like about that, Marcus? It's 500 baseball again. If we're up to the high point of 85, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay because look, it's better than what they've done, and all you can ask for is for them to be better. But man, if we're talking 81 to 82 wins, man, it's more of the same. So what do you do?
And
so
what
do you do?
Yeah, but that's Marcus. Now read that. Projections have
those are projections.
Statement.
Yeah.
That is a statement for Marcus. But that statement comes with questions. Where does an 85 win team? Who's pitching us to 85 wins, Eric? And one thing I brought up with Lou that most people don't think about. Lou and I, a week ago, Lou, you and I were on doing the show together, and we broke down the month of April as the teams are going to play and how each week would fare out. Don't forget, everybody who's in the chat and all the Giant fans, Eric, will go, yeah, but, look at that. We got Miami for 3 and we got Washington for 3. You don't know how it's too early and that's too far away to realize how the pitching. So what happens if you've got Webb and Ray finish off a road trip, you come home, you're playing Washington, whether it's home or on the road, I'm not sure. And all of a sudden you go, oh, maybe at what on paper looked like an easy series, maybe it's not that simple anymore because we got the back end of the pitching staff going. It's how it shakes out.
How it lines up. No, you're right. Because look, sometimes you're number 5, may go against their number 2 or whatever. Yeah, you just don't know. That's the thing. You just got to go out there and play the games. See, the problem is right now, there is no games. There's no games. All we could do is sit here and shoot the shit and chew the fat and whatever you want to call it. That's all. And that's what baseball conversation's all about, right? Isn't it all about just, hey, let's have a discussion. This is our concerns. It's
tough to do it. It's tough to do it in preseason, Eric, because every night we come in here and my God, Park Harbor's going to make this team.
Yeah, I know.
Back the bus up.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Now, to go back a little bit over the weekend, one pleasant surprise, Tyler Mahle had his first outing was pretty good. I'll tell you what, man, the guy was locating. I was watching the dots because, that's all you could do on freaking some of these spring training games. So I had the radio on and I was watching the game day on MLB.com. And he was locating, which was great because that's what you want to see because that's what he is. He can locate the ball. So it was good to see him come out and do what he had to do. But yeah, I've been saying this for a long time, man. Wait a second. Have we seen Landon Root pitch?
Yeah, he's pitched twice. He went a third of an inning.
Remember.
Yeah, he pitched a third of an inning, gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. And then his next time he pitched an inning and a third. A third of an inning was the first one. Then he came in an inning and a third, and he gave up another 4 runs.
Really? See, I haven't. Man, that's funny. We're talking about that, and I don't remember ever seeing Landon Root. It must have been during the week or something.
Yeah.
Just don't get carried away.
What's up, dude?
Don't get carried away with the preseason. Did you see the big, they're almost trying to create headlines and storylines when you're at camp. Did you see the story the other day, Eric? Is it Bo Davidson, the young outfielder? The comparisons are already in. This guy is a Barry Bonds. I'm like, calm the hell down, will you? Calm down. What are we doing here? Or the big storyline last 2 or 3 days is Bryce Harper was close to signing with the Giants. We knew he was close to signing with the Giants. They screwed it up.
Come on.
They're creating headlines.
No, look, come on. It was all about money. That's all. It was about money. Look, I don't want to revisionist history is not going to get you anywhere, man. Who cares? It's done. It's over.
But these are the storylines right now.
I know I know, but you gotta kind of filter through the chaff, right? Get to the wheat, not the chaff. That means nothing. That means nothing. It doesn't. Who cares? He's a Philly. I could care less. It's done and over with. The Giants, look, they got outbid by $20 million. That's what happened. If the Giants offered $10 million more than if they offered $340, he would have been a Giant, but they didn't. And that's it. And was it because of Bochy?
Old news. Hey, I got a storyline. Tell me if this, I got you minimized here. I'm going to go to the story. Tell me, do you see this? Did that come up on the screen?
I don't see nothing.
Okay, that didn't.
But I see Orange Man. What's up, Orange Man?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Orange Man. We got a new clip we'll be running here, and you're featured in it, my friend. Yes, you are.
I don't know what happened, Eric. I had a storyline. I'm gonna have to go look for it again. Did you the young our international draft pick? He's coming over to Arizona.
Oh, now hey, I'll tell you something. He had a game. And over the weekend, he came in and they turned a nice double play. He was playing second base, and Keelan was at shortstop, if I'm not mistaken. And they turned a nice double. He didn't get an at bat, but he went out there and he turned a double play. Josuar.
No, Eric, the guy they just got.
Luis Hernandez?
I think that's his name. Expected to play Luis Hernandez. He's heading to Arizona. He could start the season in A-ball. And they said that is unprecidented.
Yes, so they talked about that. So
that's huge.
It's huge. If he's going to start off in San Jose.
Now that's a storyline, Eric. That's a storyline. If
he starts off in San Jose, that means Josuar Gonzalez and Luis Hernandez will both be playing for the San Jose. I'll tell you something. If anyone lives in the San Jose area, you guys need to go watch some San Jose Giants baseball, because that's going to be something.
Maybe we'll have to do a road trip.
Yeah, there you go. That would be a lot of fun to go catch.
You guys can do the 7th inning stretch, and I'll be over giving you a report from San Jose. I'm up for that. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. It's great.
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to say this. Our good friend Booney. Remember Booney, Glenn? We've had him on the show a couple of times.
Oh, those Sacramento bums. Yeah, I know Booney is. Good fella.
Yeah, he's no longer on Locked on A's. He went out and created his own YouTube channel. The House Always Wins. If you guys want to go check out a really nice YouTube channel, and it has everything to do with A's. And it's not just the Sacramento A's. He gets into it when they were freaking in Oakland. He's going to get into it when he's in Las Vegas. So, guys, if you want to go check out some great baseball content, go check out Booney's new channel. The House Always Wins. It's awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. He's been dealing. I honestly, I don't know, Senior. I have absolutely no idea what Roop's numbers have been at all. I'll have to look it up myself, but I haven't seen him as far as on the radio broadcasts. So is it Wiz? Oh, Wiz says Lou got Wiz mixed up with Roop. You think maybe it was Wiz?
Both of them are getting blasted. Wiz, they tried. Remember, he was the one that was throwing 99, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he was throwing 99. Yeah.
Concentrating on his changeup. He's gotten blasted twice too.
Has he? Wow.
It's Wiz and Hunt and Seymour that are my concerns right now, Lou.
Well, I mean, those are the guys that are battling for a bullpen spot. I don't think they're battling for a freaking for a rotation spot.
Well, who's going to be? Let's say a guy goes down early.
I'll have to look up.
I thought they would call on a Carson Seymour. See, that's what, again, this is where Eric, we're one injury away from the whole thing. You talk about, it sounds like a Vegas thing, dealing and the house always wins, but this is a house of cards ready to implode. The house of cards, Eric. Well, you pull one Jenga block out of this thing, and it could turn over.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's like that for a lot of teams. Look what's going on with the Reds. You see who's battling some elbow issues? What's his name? Green. What the hell's his first name? I can't remember. Yeah, he has some elbow discomfort. So
yeah, and Eric, I'm wrong. Birdsong.
Oh, you're thinking of Birdsong. You're thinking of Birdsong.
Not Roop.
Birdsong. Roop has he's got 3 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 4 strike. Okay, so Roop's been on. Okay, we're good. We're good then.
The other 2 have been getting blasted. My fault. Sorry, all these young guys look the same.
But yeah, that's good because and here's the thing, right? Because with the getting to the rotation, Webb, Ray, Roop, and then we got Hauser. Sounds like he sounds like he's healthy from what he's talking about, which is good. And Malley had a good first outing. So, and I said this a while back. I think the Giants are going to come out of the block. Talking about the rotation, I think they're going to come out of the block decent. I do. The bullpen, I'm telling you, I always circle back to that bullpen because when we get into those tight situations, when we're talking about the 7th inning to the 9th inning and trying to close it down, and if you're only up or down by 1 or a couple of runs, who is going to be the guy that's going to either get you back in the game or is going to hold on to that damn lead. And I'm concerned about that, man. I am. And it's because I want the Giants to freaking win, man. I'm tired of freaking 500 baseball, guys. I've said it a million times, and I will keep saying it. So we'll have to see. Mike Val says, a Wisenhunt, Birdsong, Seymour are playing scary bad. Yeah.
Well, they got to figure it out, Eric, because right now everything seems to be a question mark in the bullpen. No setup guy has been solidified. I don't even know if we have a legitimate setup guy. I don't know who to set up.
That's a great question.
You know what? They got to keep chopping. You need a Jim Tyler. Bring us a Jim Tyler, Eric. Keep chopping. A guy will just go out there and go, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to be the best. Jimmy, do you know Jim Tyler?
I know, yeah. The best lumberjack in all of Hero Township. Yeah.
Well, that he is.
Bull in the woods. He was the bull in the woods.
Shenanigans. The young guys let him win, I heard. But we'll
You
got to keep chopping. That's maybe guys. Maybe that is what this bullpen is going to be about this year. Just go out there and every man just give us an inning and try to. I wouldn't say band-aid it together, but just try to hold it together.
I tell you what. It's going to be, and this makes Tony Vitello's job that much more difficult because if he doesn't have a solid foundational bullpen, it's going to be tough because then it's going to, especially if it starts going sideways early, because then it's like, okay, who the hell am I going to trust? Right? If I got to go out there and go get my starter, who's the guy I got to go to so I can get this win?
Yeah, another question mark.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, and and look, it's not fair to Tony at all.
But he's another question mark.
Oh, Eric. It is. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
he is,
of course. Yeah, no, absolutely. But you want to give him. I say this a lot. You want to set someone up for success. Are they setting up Tony Vitello for success as far as his options for the bullpen? Hold on, let me get back to that real quick. Senior is asking, anyone watching WC? Yeah, we're going to be watching it Friday. We'll do Friday show will be a post game of USA's first WBC game, which our very own Logan Webb will be starting. So yeah, there we go.
I'm surprised to see Eddie's here. The pitching will be fine.
I don't know, man.
And Eddie, I want to thank Eddie for being here. Eddie,
what's up, Eddie?
He thinks he says he can't handle watching this channel because just far too salty. The negativity is too much for him. So I'm just happy he's back tonight.
Hey, Eric, it's just it happens, man. Sometimes we're all peachy king, and sometimes it's a little bit on the downside.
Sometimes.
It's baseball talk, man. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Eric, first of all, live update since the WBC did start tonight. The first game, Australia leads Chinese Taipei 3-0, top of 8.
Hey, there we go. Did you see the brawl between Canada and Mexico? Oh my God, dude.
Don't mess with the Canadians.
So the other thing too, Eric, I use this phrase a lot. Know your roles. I don't think the Giants,
my line,
they don't know who their fifth inning, 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning. They just know who the closer is because everyone's still trying out. Last but not least, why people in the chat are saying, why are you so worried about the pitching? And I'll tell you right now. You ready?
I'll tell you why.
We start the season against the Yankees. Yankees had the second best offense in the American League. Okay, so that worries me.
Seen Judge lately?
Yeah. Then we go to San Diego. San Diego down there always hits us good. Then we come home for the Mets. Okay, Mets, great offense. Then we play the Phillies, another great offense. Yeah. Then we go to Baltimore. That park, they're good at home, good ballpark. Then we go to Cincinnati, good ballpark. And then we get a little break going to Washington, but then we come home for the Dodgers. So we're going against teams that smack the shit out of the ball. They hit it all over the place. So if our pitching's not there, it's going to be like Bad News Bears, 15,
it's going to be tough.
And then what that does is if we do struggle the first month, how do you expect this team with so many young guys to last the year? You got to remember, it's a marathon, but if we use all our guns in the first month and show no success, now it's like we're another month behind because we can't keep using these guys over and over and over again. I mean, that's why it's so important, and that's why we bring it up.
Okay, real quick, couple of things. I see Marcus. I'm going to get to Marcus, but Brother, what's up, brother? That's our good buddy over in New York. He's a big New York fan. I think he's a Yankees fan, if I'm not mistaken. Said, happy World Baseball Classic Day. Donates $2. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Marcus says, why are you afraid of the Rays? I'll tell you why. Because that's a team where the Giants are going to be battling for a freaking wild card. And you have to win those games. Because what if you guys got the same record when you go to the end? What do they go on? They go on the record.
Head to head.
Right? Whoever had the best record against each team is going to determine who gets that third, maybe it could be the third wild card. So you really got to make sure that you're winning these games against teams that are somewhat equal, because the Reds are somewhat equal to the Giants. They are. They got a decent team. They got pitching out the wazoo, right? If I'm not mistaken. And they got a young team that can hit. So you're going to look, and they got a good skipper too. Let's not forget.
Eric, our bullpen, Lou, you can answer to this too. Our bullpen isn't exactly, made up of finesse pitchers. So according to Marcus and his soliloquy the other night, we should be just fine because guys who just rear back and throw, nobody can hit those guys. Marcus doesn't want finesse pitchers.
No. Well,
I want finesse pitchers. I want guys who can dance the ball, move the ball, good sinkers, slider, not guys who just wind up and hope to hell it don't hit you in the head.
That's the bullpen guys, right? Bullpen guys, those are your guys that come out in max effort and they freaking absolutely come out and just destroy you, right? That's what they do.
But they're just not good enough to do that.
But
they're not
right
good.
now,
Eric, Eric, one of these shows, if it's not tonight, hopefully soon, Lou, Eric, maybe some people in the chat as well, let's just call the spade a spade. We are not that good again, Eric.
Bro,
we make excuses on why this pen is going to be good and why the starting.
No, I'm not making excuses for the pen.
Don't worry about the pitching. I am worried about
the pitching I'm worried about. Look, no one's going to come. No one's going to move me off of my fear of the pitching. It just isn't. It's not. The hitting, I feel fantastic about. I do. I feel great about the hitting. I'm worried about run prevention. We'll have to see.
Eric's like Donna Summer, Lou.
Hold on, let's see this.
Fine.
So Eddie, let me. I gotta ask you this: Do you trust Ryan Walker as your ninth inning guy? We're gonna kind of go through this a little bit. We're gonna stick on Eddie for a little bit. Eddie, do you trust Ryan Walker taking that ball in the ninth inning? Let's see what he says. Again, we got to wait a couple of seconds before he can answer. But I want to know: do you trust?
But it is comments like that, Eric. Full pen will be fine. It has never proven. Why do we magically just turn on the switch and go, Eric, be fine? It's never been fine.
Stop struggle.
Before, why will it be fine all of a sudden now? I just don't understand. It's like Bailey. We had the debate again at length about Bailey the other night. Bailey can hit. Bailey's going to hit this year. Oh, he's just magically going to hit. What did we say the other night, Lou? His batting averages, career are 222, 223, and 235. But he's breakout. He's going to hit. Tell me something with reality.
So Eddie says he's going to have a bounce back year. Okay. Look, and we're all just throwing it out there because we don't know. We don't know. Honestly, I could sit here and say that he's going to be even worse, but we don't know. And look, but the thing is, the Giants have to hope he does. That's the problem. There's a difference. There is a difference between hoping and having that hope springs eternal type of attitude, and then there is the actual performance.
Just and right now, last year, wishing and hoping,
man, it wasn't pretty last year, and it wasn't just a quote unquote a bad outing here or there. The guy kept hitting people. He was walking people. He was giving up hits. It was pretty damn bad, man.
And Eric, last year going into the year, he wasn't the main man. Now he is the main man.
Once
he got the responsibility, he started crumbling. So it's a lot different when you come in occasionally, the top of the ninth, not the closer, not to get the final 3 outs, maybe in the 8th inning. But when you're the guy and there's nobody else and all the pressure's on you, that's why the 9th inning is so different and so unique. Only a few guys can do it, and Ryan Walker last year was so inconsistent. If I remember the last month of the season, he might have been one of the worst closers. He lost the closer role 3 times.
Yeah, he
Don't
did.
tell me the guy's going to improve overnight.
He's going to have to show it. Yeah.
He's going to have to show it. It's a lot different when you're the guy. That's all I'm saying. You know,
And you're right, Eddie.
Final 3 outs is different.
Gotta love Marcus. Name 15 betters, closers.
That's not. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what we saw. What Ryan Walker did last year. That's all I care about, man. And that was awful. That was
Eric.
Verlander. I think he had money on him freaking for a hit because I mean that was horrible, man.
Maybe if you name 15, he'll be better than one of them guys, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Eddie,
God,
100%. That the Perguero. That injury is going to hurt, dude. That injury is going to hurt. That's the one guy we talked about it. He's the one guy that come out of the bullpen and throw 100 miles an hour and be kind of somewhat dominant. But now the Giants don't have that, and they ain't going to have him for at the minimum and probably until May.
And with that grade of injury, he's going to be out for a while, and then they're not even going to be able to. You got to just slowly integrate him back in. You can't just go balls to the wall again with that kind of an injury. So it could be 2.5 months.
It could. It may be longer because it's a grade 2. Usually grade 2, isn't that like 8 weeks? Something like that. That's 2 months.
Yeah,
man.
I thought that was
2-month
injury. But then he's not going to – it isn't going to be a light switch. 2 months, okay, he's healthy.
Right.
You got to – because you can pull that back again.
Hey, Glenn, and here's the thing. We still got 3 weeks more of spring training. When he's done with that injury, he's going to have a spring training all over again. So he's right.
God.
So when he comes back on the team, he's ready to go and he's stretched out to a certain amount. I
Can't
mean,
afford
it's
to lose guys.
not good. This is not good. Not good.
No.
They're going.
They're going down. They're dropping.
What the hell's going on here, man? God, what?
Good news.
Yeah, I see him.
You missed him. I know you missed him. Did we have him on the other night? I think no, I can't remember.
I haven't got a chance to talk to him. I haven't got a chance to talk to him. Well, let's go ahead and bring him in.
Okay, I'll be back.
Let's bring in the legend, Shardal. What is up, Shardal, dude?
Hey, Eric, I'm a big fan of Giant Sports Talk Live. Tune into your show every single night. I love all your content, everything you bring on the channel. You're diehard Giants fans, just like I am.
There you go, man.
I'm going to be going to FanFest on March 14th, and then I'm going to be going to Tommy's Mexican restaurant with all three of you guys.
There you go, man.
I will be there.
Right on, dude. I hope to see you there.
I will see you there.
Man, it's been like I've known you for a couple of years now, and I haven't got to meet you. So yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Hey,
I will be there with all three of you gentlemen.
Shardal, I tell you what,
having some really nice Mexican food and some cocktails.
There you go. Hey, bring $30, and maybe you can be in the Giant Sports Talk Live Fantasy Baseball. How about that?
I would love to be part of Giants Fantasy Baseball. I would love that.
You want to be part of it? All right. I tell you what, you bring your $30.
Maybe I won't finish the last.
Bring your $30 on March 14th, right? Yeah. And then we'll get you in there, man, because we got a couple of more spots open. And that's what we're going to do, guys. If anyone shows up to the meet and greet, if you guys want to sign up, we only got a few spots left. And we'll sign you up right then and there. You could be playing against myself and Glenn. Lou, I don't know if you're going to do it. Are you going to do it, Lou, or are you going to? It doesn't matter if you do or not. But
I'm in.
Lou, how are you doing? How are you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm having fun talking Giants baseball.
Eric, what are your thoughts on Giants spring training so far? How do you think it's going so far for the Giants?
Well, it's going well. It's going well. They're hitting, right? The pitching, again, this is kind of what we've been talking about throughout this entire offseason is the pitching. And, the Giants took a hit today. You got two guys that may be not starting the season with the Giants, and they're going to have to figure out a way to fill those spots. So I'm a little concerned about the pitching, Shardal. What about you, man?
I love how spring training is going. I love to see all these young guys, Victor Barricoto, the guys from the San Jose Giants. I love to see those players get a little bit of playing time.
Okay, nice.
What are your thoughts on the World Baseball? Are you going to watch some World Baseball Classic? That seems.
I'm rooting for Team USA to win the whole thing.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Good deal. They got a good chance, man. Some of these other teams are tough, though, man. The Dominican and Puerto Rico, and man, they got some good damn teams. So we'll see. And of course,
yesterday's highlight.
So the
back to back.
The 2026 World Baseball Classic Championship will be between Japan and USA, like the rematch of the 2023 championship game for the World Baseball Classic?
I like Dominican.
You like? Yeah, they're pretty good, man.
Power.
They're pretty damn good. Absolutely.
Glenn, what were your thoughts on the Jake Holton Grand Slam?
I really don't have many thoughts on that because I was on here doing the show, and to be quite honest with you, I don't even know if he's a butcher from Hoboken. I have no idea who he is.
I never heard of him.
Is he in Double-A this year?
Honestly,
maybe I
don't
should
know where
go
he
to
is.
Chardal for the information. Chardal, here's your chance to step up to the plate. Who is he?
Jake Holton, he was born in San Jose, hometown boy. They said it on the when he hit the Grand Slam. They said he was from San Jose, so he's born in the Bay Area.
Maybe he'll be playing in front of the hometown crowd this year.
Maybe you never know.
Hometown boy from San Jose, California.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to fit him in the roster, but yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
Glenn, so are you going to be watching the World Baseball Classic? Which matchups are you looking forward to watching? I know there's a lot of great matchups. There's USA and Brazil. South Korea is going to be playing some games.
Not USA, Brazil. That one doesn't tickle my fancy. That should be nice. That should be nice scene setter for Friday.
Yeah,
night.
It is. I think the Giants are going to crush them.
I like Chardal, your call. I'm excited to watch. I'm always excited to watch the Japanese team. I think Dominican is just absolutely stacked. They're loaded. Were they the team yesterday, Eric? Went back to back to back.
Yeah,
I don't know. Good. The bombs are flying so far in the exhibition game. So once it gets rolling, I think USA are dominant after. I'm looking. Every time I saw on the highlights today, Eric, on YouTube, I was flipping around. I was waiting for a big beanstalk to grow because isn't that Aaron Judge look like the giant?
He's huge.
The guy's he's still growing. His feet are like a size 19. He was wearing big red shoes today, and they went that they have their own zip code.
I saw him live playing in Sacramento last year. He is a monster, dude, and he crushes the ball. He almost hit one out over there. He hit it off the top of the wall, man. That guy can freaking swing the bat. Matter of fact, that was the game where the Martian hit 3 home runs. That was his 3 home run game, the best game of his MLB career so far. So
he was Aaron Judge from from Team USA. He kind of reminds me of Macklin Celebrini from the Sharks. Breaking records, young age, only 19 years old. Macklin is killing it.
Lou, you take that one, man. I don't know how Aaron Judge and Macklin Celebrini are in the same conversation.
No, I'm saying that they're a prodigy, because they're crushing records. Macklin is doing something at a young age. Aaron Judge is also doing stuff at his age right now. He's amazing. What those two athletes are doing.
How about this, Eric? Macklin Celebrini. I can't even say it tonight. Aaron Judge and Macklin Celebrini. Judge and Celebrini. They both carry a big stick.
Ah, well, there you go. Hey, there you go. See, you got that there, Chardal. Look at that.
There you go, Chardal. All right, Chardal. There's other people on the line who we got somebody on line 4. We're gonna have to get to that.
It was great joining Eric, Glenn, and Lou. Great joining you 3 gentlemen on Giant Sports Talk Live. I'm gonna be at FanFest. I'm gonna be looking for Glenn. Glenn needs some help. I'm to get on the 38 bus because he needs some help to get on there. I'll be his wingman and help him get on the bus and get over there to the restaurant. I'll be his bodyguard and make sure nobody robs Glenn on the bus. Nobody takes his wallet away, takes his money away, and stuff like that.
You gotta watch for that on the 38.
I'm gonna be
Chardal. I think if I'm with you, I'll be okay. If I think I'm traveling with Chardal, I don't think nobody's gonna bother me, Eric.
I'm gonna wear a full on suit to the game and sit with Eric and put my shades on.
All right, there you go. Nice. All right, thanks.
Before we go, buddy. Let's ask him one more very important, pivotal question, Eric. Chardal, you still there?
I'm there.
Big question for you. I'm going to throw something out to you. We are now your home of the 7th inning stretch. Our Giant Sports Talk Live, the post game starts a little bit earlier. We're going to ride out a lot of hopefully Giant wins. Are you planning some play-by-play activity this year on your channel?
I'm gonna be doing some play-by-play for the. I'm gonna be doing all the 3 games: the 25th, the 27th, and the 20th. All 3 games of the Yankees and Giants series. I'm gonna do all play-by-play for all 3 games of the series.
Hey,
Awesome.
nice. Way to go, man.
All right.
And so when I go to FanFest, Glenn will look forward to me. I'll be wearing my I'll be wearing a cream colored hoodie. I'll be wearing my Buster Posey jersey, some sunglasses. Look for me. I'll be out in the crowd. Glenn will look for me.
Chardal, when I arrive at Oracle Park, my initial move will be, Bernice, we must look for Chardal.
When Glenn finds me at Oracle, that's going to be the greatest thing because I've talked to Glenn on YouTube on Giants Sports Talk Live, but I've never actually seen him in person. So that would be wonderful to see him in person and for my first time to see him.
Chardal, there's a reason for that.
And get a photo with you. And get a photo with you at the game.
May I remind you, you were supposed to meet me at the Willie Mays statue last year.
Yeah.
You had to attend a Valkyries game with me last year. You had to attend our show and sing the 12 Days of Christmas 2 years ago. I'm still waiting. So if you show up on at Oracle Park on the 14th, hey, all the best. I'll be happy
I'll see you on March 14th at the ballpark for FanFest. But great joining all 3 of you.
Right,
I'll see Glenn at the FanFest. See you at the restaurant, and it's gonna be a wonderful time. Go Giants! And let's keep this rocking, like Ralph Barbieri says. Go Giants! Go Giants!
All right, Giants. Nice, Chardal. Nice. All right, take it easy, buddy.
See you later.
Gone.
Right, there it goes. And he is gone. All right, that was fun.
My
God.
Lou,
lucky Lou got to just kind of sit out there and just listen.
Lou, you know what? It's probably the same on other networks. Lou, whenever Chardal arrives, you know you're in for a couple of laughs. And it's still, I don't know, did you ever make a short of it, Eric, or do you have you got to bring it back. You got to add it to our arsenal, our little stable of entertainment. About the night that you dipped out, and by the time you dipped in, I don't know if he didn't realize Eric was here. He goes, Glenn, I love you. I don't like Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's mean to me. He doesn't. And then Eric's like,
hey, Glenn, I just realized your light's out. You're dark as hell.
Yeah, I got to go replace the light bulb.
Oh, the cat took it out.
You notice? Do you notice there's no more chirping?
Yeah.
They came yesterday and they fixed my smoke detector, but now the light's out. So let me go see if I can fix that. If not, you can wrap it up with Dilly.
All right, here we go. Let's bring Dilly in here. Dilly, what is up, man? Hey, it's gonna be us 4. It's gonna be us 4 in July, dude. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It is. I'm very excited and I'm very grateful and thankful.
There you go.
Super cool.
Here, let me get the super chat out of the way real quick. What's up, Fuji? He says Chardal naming Valkyrie players for Glenn was up. Dude, that was awesome. I got a short of that. That was absolutely fantastic. Then did not see that one coming. It was hilarious. I don't know if you've seen that, Lou, but it's great. Dilly, we're talking pitching, man. Tell me, where are you at? Again, Giants are taking a couple of hits in the bullpen. Where is your concern level as far as Giants pitching?
They've got a lot going on.
They do.
They've got a lot going on. But that being said, my guy last year, I called out Landon Roop. I was like, that's my guy.
Yeah, you liked him. Yeah, you liked him.
I liked him. I got the cards and everything for him and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be just fine this year. And as far as our bullpen goes, my guy this year, Trevor McDonald. He's my guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's my guy. Good. And I said that, I don't know if I said it on here last year, if I mentioned it or whatever, but I know for a fact I was sitting in Giants Stadium in club level with my dad and watching Trevor McDonald debut saying he looks like something.
I saw his last game. It was at the end of the season. It was he had a fantastic outing.
I was like, good. He looks like a baseball player. Sometimes you can just tell. Like you can look at a guy and be like, he's got it. And so he just came out the way he carried himself, the way he pitches and whatever.
He's got a hell of a sinker, man.
Yeah, he just looks good. So I'm gonna put some stock into him. I think he's gonna be solid.
Are you comfortable with Ryan Walker closing? Are you okay with that?
I think he's kind of a bit of a head case.
Yeah.
I think he kind of he struggles with that part of it. But if he can get over the hump when it comes to that kind of a thing, then I think he'll be fine. Because he was sensational when he was the closer a couple years ago, and then the wheels fell off, and then I think that just compounds.
Yeah, it does.
So I think
I talked to Bill Lasky over the weekend, called in on the show on Saturday, and I asked him about that, about the closer and if it's going to be Ryan Walker, and he says it probably is. And he says last year what happened is what he noticed is when he sped up his delivery, that's when he really got out of sync. And so maybe, and like you said, maybe it is a head case because that's what happens, right? You're not really, you're in the moment. So you're wanting to get the ball and you want to get, maybe it's a frustration thing. I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
that's something that he has to work on. And hopefully, because dude, the guy was just.
Yeah, he's filthy. He's absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
And he has really good tunneling. He's kind of like, and I don't want to it's not like a 1-to-1. It's not even really close to a 1-to-1, but like Sergio Romo, how he just threw his no dot slider.
Yeah.
And it was like, just hit me if you can. And then he had his little whatever grunt 82 fastball that went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar in that regard where his slider plays off his two seam so well. And
correct.
The huge
that two seam, it bears in on the righty and a slider just tails away.
And they tunnel perfectly. So it's like he's got good closer.
He's got the stuff. He has no command.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think part of that is just probably head case. I think he just gets in there and then starts.
See, and that's the problem. Lou, let me ask you this. Isn't that the problem though? Because when you're a closer, more than anything, right? You got to have it between the ears because you're closing out the game. It's the highest stress situation that you can be in for a pitcher is getting those last 3 outs. And look, you can have the God-given talent, but if he ain't got it between the ears, Lou, it makes it for a long.
I think his biggest problem is the first batter. If you knew sort of,
I would agree with that.
Yep.
The first batter, either he was on or he was off, because there were times where the second pitch, he'd hit somebody on the back. Like, how did you even hit the guy in that position? The slider was so bad. And then, he would start arguing, hey, that was a strike 3. And all of a sudden he's, 3-0. And then before you know it, when he came in, it would be like, there was only 3 batters that he didn't get out, but it seemed like he just gave up 5 runs in the blink of an eye.
Quick.
Like we were up. Now we're down 2. It's like, oh my God, what happened? And I think that happened a lot. And I think, when me and Eric are saying this with him, last year, he got the opportunity to be the man. He didn't succeed. I think twice he got called, hey, you're not the closer anymore. He lost his position. Now he's going a whole offseason where he is the guy. So I think we talk about Giants pitching. He's probably the most important guy to start off strong because he's the type of guy going against the Yankees and these offensive lineups. If he doesn't have his stuff, he could have an ERA, and again, it's the beginning of the season. He could give up 5 runs in the first 5 appearances and his ERA 60, and then we're really stuck between the 8 ball. So I think he's probably one of the most important guys that needs to start off great, especially in his role, because it's so difficult.
It is. Calvin Jefferson. What's up, Calvin? He chimes in, says, what about Keaton Wynn? He's got a hell of a freaking changeup. I think it's a splitter, if I'm not mistaken.
But he's never healthy.
Yeah.
But the problem is, we come back to the same situation. He just can't command it. If you can't command it, then people spit on it. And then what are you going to do? Now you're ineffective. He's got to look right. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Calvin, but these guys have to freaking show it. I'll tell you what, for the San Francisco Giants, for specifically this year, since it's wide open in the bullpen to a certain extent, The guys are going to have to come in and absolutely just freaking bear down and say, you know what? I want this job and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this job. And then you got to go out there and compete. So it's going to be interesting.
Eric, back to Ryan Walker. Back to Ryan Walker for just a second while I was out. Back to Ryan Walker.
Sure.
I'm afraid that Ryan Walker, really, he's a filler. He's a filler. Winning teams have closers. I'm afraid he's a filler because last year, 5-7 with a 4.11 ERA is not a legitimate closer. Those aren't closer numbers. Winning teams have, I mean, think of some of the elite closers we've seen in the last decade or so. Johnny Wetland would come in. He didn't close years with a 5-7. He had an off 5-7, 4.11 ERA. Those aren't Wetland numbers. Those aren't closer numbers, Eric. And to me, all I've seen out of our closer role, and even with Doval at times, they're fillers. They're just not elite closers that take us to the promised land.
Yep. Hey, I'm gonna bring in Marcus.
And I was afraid you thought I was doing the show from Atlanta tonight. I'm actually in Winnipeg. I'm gonna, because they always say the lights went out in Georgia. So. I'm back.
What is up, Marcus? So
that shirt, Marcus. Sweet shirt.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. I love the shirt. It's freaking awesome. Whoa, geez, man. Graze the ear on that one. We're talking about no. It was.
What, did you get a new hat? I like the lid tonight.
I like the hat.
Nice hat.
This was a giveaway.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I think the shirt wasn't the shirt a giveaway too.
Yeah, I'm wearing fully given away clothing.
I tell you what. Talking about Ryan Walker. And Glenn brought up his stats, right? He had a lot of blown saves. I should say.
He did. No, he
had quite a few blown saves, and that's and they were blown so bad that I'm almost positive that 7 of those losses were due to those blown saves. It wasn't that they just lost. He blew it so bad that the Giants lost. So we're right, Marcus. Let's talk about this. I think you and Dilly might be on the same page. He's got the stuff. How many times have we talked about this? Matter of fact, I talked to Bill Lasky about this, talking about Birdsong. Birdsong has the stuff. Remember, let's go back in time. Remember this guy, Lou? Remember Jonathan Sanchez? Remember Jonathan Sanchez? The guy had stuff, but between the ears seemed to be an issue. And look, I'm not in their heads.
He pitched a no-hitter.
I think let's think about this. Let's think about this in in a more abstract sense. What does a pitcher do? Okay. A pitcher in modern baseball, they get told what pitch to throw and where to throw it, and they have to execute on it. Right? It's not, if the pitchers are executing pitches at a high level, that is a good thing. And that is all you can really ask for. Like, pitchers are not out there to think, these days. They work on their pitches, when they're practicing, when they're training, and then they execute on them in the game. And when we look at Ryan Walker, the quality, his slider is one of the best pitches in all of baseball.
It's a nasty slider.
It's an incredible slider with completely disgusting movement. And with his, weird arm slot, like crossbody delivery.
It's a weird delivery.
It's a very difficult pitch, ordinarily a very difficult pitch to hit.
Yeah.
But when you look at the pitch shape and the pitch quality from 2025 to 2024, they're actually roughly the same. So what is the difference? If Ryan Walker's is pitching individual pitches at the same level with different results, well, do you say it's bad luck? Do you have to look at some other things going on? There was speculation that pitchers were just getting he was tipping his slider, and people were able to either spit on it or just know it's coming and put the bat in the zone. So that's why I'm not that worried. Like, it's not like his quality the quality of his arm, the quality of pitches, they are not degrading to the level that like he was suffering last year. So if we can figure out what it is that, you know, like it's just clear. If you watch the slider is it's just a crazy pitch.
It is.
It has so much movement. It's like, you know, even if you know it, you know, like you'd think that even if you know it's coming, that it would be hard to hit. But he just wasn't. He was throwing the exact same pitch, and it wasn't as effective. And I think like because of that, I think Ryan Walker is due for a bounce back. Like the expected batting average against his pitches was a lot lower than the actual batting average. The expected ERA was a lot lower than the actual ERA. His fielding independent pitching, it was also a lot lower than his ERA. So, you know, and what I said earlier, what I said that I think he's in the top half of closers in Major League Baseball. I think that's a pretty legitimate statement in like when you look at it in isolation, when you look at him as a pitcher of his talent and quality and the pitches he was throwing, and you look at all the other closers from all the other clubs, I think he is in the top half. And I think we as Giants fans, we watch a lot of the Giants. And what we do is it's very easy to criticize the players that we criticize or, you know, put on a pedestal the players that we really like or really don't like because we see a lot of them. But when you watch across the league and you watch all the teams and you know, really look at the pitchers for all the clubs, Ryan Walker is not that bad. Do I want better? Yes. Do I think the Giants can do better? Totally. And we would with Randy Rodriguez if we had him back, if he wasn't injured. Right. So it's not like we don't have a top tier closer in our club. He's just out for the year. That could happen to any team.
Too. I know he's not coming back.
Okay, let me do this. Let me do quick snappers here. Dilly, how would you fill some of these bullpen? Would you go out there and try to do a trade? Would you do a free agent, or you just keep it in house?
That's a good question because we've got a lot of like maybes, and I know that's like been the consistent theme for the last few years or whatever. But we do have a lot of talent, and I know talent means nothing unless it comes to fruition. But to go and spend money on like just filler pieces, I don't know if that's necessarily because you would go out and spend a couple million here, a couple million there on a couple guys just to patch things up, or you can take a risk and see what you've got with what we have right now. And I feel like that's probably just the better route, as much as it's just annoying to say. Because I would rather see more Trevor McDonald, more dudes like that, Keaton Wins, Bivens. I'd rather see them get more work than go out and sign some schmo from the Twins.
I got a question for my buddy Lou there. Lou, with a lot of, you know, thin ice out in that bullpen already. You know, guys aren't stepping it up in the preseason. I'm not seeing anybody with lightning, electric stuff. And then you got the lefty, Eric Miller, probably not even going to be available opening day.
Might not be.
Start the season. So, Lou, what are your thoughts on the depth, the consistency of the bullpen as we enter the year against the Yankees?
I don't think any of the teams that were competing for a playoff spot are worried about anything. I think they're happy they're going against our bullpen. I think our bullpen is average at best. I think us being Giant fans, we maybe are putting them a little bit higher on their ability than they are. You know, I look and I see a big problem where the Giants, and unfortunately, I think just the way it is, they're going to go with what they have and hopefully it sticks. You know, sort of like Scotch tape. You know, we're talking about a guy, you know, Marcus brought up a great point. The guy 2 years ago was solid. Last year, he did the same pitches but didn't have the results. But now we're hoping that he's going to be back to how he was 2 years ago. The problem saying that is that's almost like half of our pitching staff. You know, we have a lot of guys that might have been good 2-3 years ago, and we hope when we can bring them back, that's just a tough way to compete. You know, that's sort of like the Colorado Rockies way, not the San Francisco Giants. But saying that, that's sort of how the Giants have been the last 3 or 4 years. You know, we sometimes, you know, same with Eldridge. You know, nobody's really talked about Eldridge this offseason. Last year when he's in AAA, oh my God, the new sensation's coming. Now you don't hear about anything, which hopefully means he's taking steps in the right direction. But I know we're talking about pitching now. I just think, you know, they're rolling the dice, and, you know, Buster's either going to say, God, we did it, or, you know what, guys, this is worse. And there are players out there where they have agents saying, hey, guys, if it doesn't work for the Giants, keep going. You know, we talk about Glenn's favorite player who's now in Miami waiting for that call. You know, if the pitching doesn't happen, Buster will do something. But, you know, he's made a point. Let's give the youth the chance. We can't have our cake and eat it too. You know, Eric, like we all want to give our young guys a chance. Well, here's an opportunity. If Ryan Walker, the one thing is if Ryan Walker doesn't come through, who do we have? I mean, we're putting a lot of pressure on Ryan Walker because we don't really have, you know, like last year we had other guys that could help out. You know, we had Rogers doing the 8th.
By committee.
You know, it's going to be committee, and, you know, that's just not a winning formula.
See, Eric, you didn't even have to yell out his name. He showed up.
Who?
Little Wilmer Flores.
Losing Rogers,
yeah, there he is.
Him
Little Wilmer.
sucks.
Say hi to Lou.
Yeah, we what happened, we traded from our depth, our bullpen depth. Then we had Tommy John surgery to our best bullpen arm. And it's true. I mean, I think criticisms of the bullpen as a whole are totally fair. We do not have great bullpen depth. We have Eric Miller, who I think is great, but he might not be available for opening day, like Glenn said. I think Buteau is a totally serviceable bullpen arm that would make it into almost all major league clubs in relief. And we have Ryan Walker, who, again, I think is somewhere in the number 14 to number 17 range of, ninth inning guys, which isn't, I'm not saying that he's a top end closer. That's obviously not what I'm saying, but we have a few guys.
That's borderline spot on average.
Yeah. So we have some guys.
That's Giants baseball.
Yeah. I mean, pure.
I would say that's good. It's because the bottom half of that is just a bunch of teams that do it by committee.
But see, and that's the problem
many.
If the Giants want to get across that 500 threshold, you got to be better. And so let me ask you this question, Marcus and Lou. You made some great points about that. What would you prefer? How to address the bullpen? Not necessarily the closer, because that ship sailed. It's Ryan Walker. Okay.
Yeah.
But how would you fix some of these? Because the Giants, look, you may have to fill two, because right now there is a battle for one spot. Now it looks like there's going to be a battle for 3 spots, depending on what Sanmartin. I mean, it sounds like he's out for the beginning of the season, so they need to find somebody. Would we rather do it in-house, or would you do a little bit of mixture, or is there a certain way that you want to do this as far as you look? You're not setting up Tony Vitello very well. I said this earlier. You want to set them up for success, and when you can't do that with a bullpen, look, the hitting is going to be great. The rotation is going to be fine in the beginning of the season, but when we're getting down to the 7th to the 9th inning, what tools and what options does Vitello have to go out there and say, hey, let's take us to the promised land for this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always that weird spot of we have all these players, we have all these young guys. We're kind of on the outside looking at that 26 slot. They just aren't quite. They haven't quite proven themselves yet. We have a lot of these guys, and we historically have kind of jerked around these guys who are on the cusp of being major league, ready players like Matos, like Luciano, and not giving them a shot. When you make mediocre signings and those people aren't doing very well, then it's why didn't we just play the young guys? right? So, I mean, I remember very vividly, Glenn and Eric, both of you, I mean, myself included, was like, why did we bother signing these mediocre players? Like, why don't we just put out the young guys we have and see what they've got?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Buster is not afraid of making a move in the middle of the season, as we know very well.
Middle of the season, he does.
And I think, seeing what we got and seeing how they perform, and if they don't perform and the underlying metrics look bad, then yeah, Buster, number one, his goal isn't necessarily to win every game of baseball. You know that. If he did, he would spend a lot more money. But what Buster does care about, and he's talked about this a lot, and he comes at this from a very practical standpoint, is that he wants to put a product on the field that is worth watching. And if your bullpen is going to blow every game, Buster will not stand for that. But he won't. He just won't. It's not something that he will allow, because what he cares about is that on-field product and making memories. And you don't want those memories to be of Ryan Walker blowing the ninth over and over and over.
Let's not forget, and Lou, I think he's got some PTSD because he was live in the park facing the Cubs in that Game 4. Buster Posey was behind home plate when they couldn't get one damn out in the ninth inning. So he should understand the value of having that bullpen, that closer, to go out there and get these done. Because a closer's not going to be able to convert every save. You're going to have moments where it just doesn't work out. But Ryan Walker last year was so bad, it literally cost them the third wild card. Mm-hmm. That it did. I mean, yes, it's look, we could go back and revisionists. I get it. But I'm just saying that's how bad it was last year as far as Ryan Walker. And it's a gamble. And you got Foley that's going to come back in sometime in the middle. We don't know how he's going to be. Again, he's coming off of Tommy John, and usually when you come off of Tommy John, the last thing to come back is your command. So I don't know what we can expect out of him. It's the bullpen. Just I can't get over it, man. Honestly, I cannot get over that. It's not a very well constructed bullpen.
Eric, I think definitely looking at it.
Well, hold on. Let go. No. Go for it, Lou.
No, what I was going to say is you got to remember in 10, 12, and 14, the bullpen carried us. It really wasn't the starters. It was the bullpen. Last year, me and Glenn have spoken about that. We had an eighth inning guy. We had really a closer to start the season. We've been spoiled. That's one of the other problems. We had the core four. We had Brian Wilson. We had Sergio. Right? We had guys that we knew we could depend on. That's why we were successful. We had a guy behind the plate that called. So we were so spoiled. But now we're 10 years later, it's just shaky.
It is.
I mean, Marcus is saying, hey, Ryan Walker's, the top echelon, maybe one of the top 15. But is that good enough? Don't we deserve better? That's all I'm saying. And I think
that's what I'm talking about.
A great point.
Deserve better.
But we do. We just deserve better.
Glenn,
and we've had it before. There's no excuse.
We definitely deserve better. And my only thing is, I'm always appreciative of the attitude that we have the ability to do better than we are now. So I don't want to hear excuses. I get that. But then when that conversation turns into, I think we're going to be 10 and 20 or whatever, then it's okay, while I agree that we have some weaknesses, I don't want to extrapolate that into how we perform against other teams when, have you looked at other teams? It's these other teams are really quite bad. I mean, the skill disparity in baseball right now, is, last year and the year before were some of the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. Not as long as your lifetimes, but these other teams have huge issues with their bullpens.
Well, then we'll all be 500 because we got the exact same thing. I mean, we're as bad or worse, though. Don't you agree?
No, I'm.
So the other teams are still better.
When you say the Giants right now look like a 500 team, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. It comes down to getting lucky a few times, hopefully making the wild card. Like that's the reality, right? That's the reality of what's happening right now. But the super doom and gloom of like, we are going to be under 500. We're worse than the Reds. These things I don't really believe in.
We're going to be competing with the Reds. That's a fact. We're competing with them.
We are competing with the Reds in some sense. Yeah. I mean, but like, okay, the name of the Brewers. Okay.
Same with the Brewers.
Name of the Brewers. The Brewers just freaking traded their ace.
Yeah, they did.
Not anyone.
Yeah. That's something that they do. Yeah.
It's
weird. They're similar in that way to the A's. The A's do the same thing. You know, their guys get up to a certain – now they're a little bit different now because they're going to Las Vegas, so they're willing to spend some money. So they're extending their guys. But, yeah, the A's in the past would constantly do that. They get Chapman and Olsen and you name it, man. They wouldn't run.
The Braves have been cursed by Miller. The Braves have been cursed by voodoo magic. Like they've had so many injuries and like Profar is suspended for the full season. Like
oh, did you see that? We haven't even talked about Profar.
Yeah,
last year
that's hilarious.
Games.
And
what's he do?
I saw
he goes
that,
out there and
laughing.
He's
so
stupid.
Much.
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing,
guys? It's just my shampoo.
But yeah, but this is my
shampoo. Is that what he said? Shampoo? What?
I don't know something.
At least he narrowed it down this time.
Like
guys, it's my sunscreen.
The Padres are another example. It's like they lost Dylan Cease, and we're it's like their actual team is not actually that good. Like we're used to competing with one of the better Braves teams in recent history, but they've gotten worse. The Diamondbacks they signed Corbin Burns, immediately lost him. They haven't supplemented their pitching. Like they have they traded away their third baseman and their first baseman and don't have great replacements lined up for them. Like, I just, I'm all for criticizing the Giants in the abstract, totally. But when we start looking, at the actual teams that we're competing against, and relatively, I would say like we're not doing as bad as we're not doing as bad relatively as we are, objectively, if that makes sense.
I hear what you're saying.
I liked what Vitello said. He said something along the lines of like saying he wants the Giants to be a team that when other teams play them, it's not an easy win. It's like we have to play the Giants. It's like they're not like a pushover team like the White Sox or like the Marlins or
but
like
they
teams like
do
that.
That's
where it's
the
like,
thing.
Yeah, they want them to be. Vitello wants the team to be obviously a winner, but like a team that's like an uncomfortable. That's what he was saying. He kept saying like, I want our opponents to feel uncomfortable playing us, which I think that's a good philosophy to have. And then FP Santangelo had a really good thing with our hitting coach that he did on his podcast. I watched it earlier today, and they brought up some really good points. I can't remember actually. It's whoever. No, our hitting coach.
Hitting.
Oh,
it starts with an M. I forget.
Hunter Mintz.
Yeah. Yes. That was a really good watch or listen. And they basically were
right. Guys, can we all talk? The good thing is the Giants' freaking hitting has been fantastic. Have you noticed Matt Chapman?
And
Matt Chapman is taking
that's
better
specifically
approach,
what they were talking about. They were talking about like 2-strike approaches and pitching or hitting philosophy and stuff like that.
And Lou, isn't that what we just wanted, man? Really? Isn't that all we wanted? Is just when the guys, especially last year, Marcus, Dilly, Glenn, Lou, we saw it. God,
they were free swingers. They weren't hitters. They were just free swingers.
We got guys in scoring position, right? And we just
0-2. 0-2, 1.
And they were saying that
never had the advantage.
A big point on what they were saying, Mintz was saying like it's not because he came from Toronto last year and they did really well. He was the assistant pitching coach or hitting coach, and he was basically saying like we didn't have like a 2-strike approach. Like we didn't tell our guys like, hey, this is what we need to do, 2 strikes or whatever. It was more so like going up there with a general idea with an approach and not being free swingers and stuff like that. Because Santangelo was saying like, we struck out way too much last year and have been striking out for many years way too much. And that's not fun to watch. And it's also not how you win baseball games. So he was asking him about that. And so he was basically saying, yeah, we didn't do like a 2-strike approach. We would go up to bat and it would be an approach and you stick to the approach. And hopefully in doing so, you don't have to rely on a 2-strike approach, because then guys that goes back to the whole head case thing. They were saying like, it goes back to being like, oh, I got 2 strikes and now I have to change everything that I'm doing and blah, 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 or whatever. And so that screws with your whole thing. It's like going out and playing golf with a glove your whole life. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to start chipping without a glove on. It totally changes everything that you've got going on. Your routine's jacked up. So if you go up there and you're like, okay, I'm going to sit this location, this speed, I get my pitch, I put a good swing on it. If that just so happens to lead you into a 2-strike count, then so be it. But rather than, oh, okay, now I'm in a 2-strike count, I have to adjust, I have to do all this kind of stuff. It's all philosophy stuff. But I liked what they had to say about it. It was nice. Very interesting. And so
Marcus,
what I'm hoping is it leads to less strikeouts.
Exactly. Marcus, you do anything March 14th? You going to go down to freaking Tommy's, man?
I heard there's free margaritas. So
yes. And free food too.
He already signed up on Monday night.
Did you?
I already got him in the big book.
I'm going to tell you something right now. And this is the type of conversations we're going to have. See how we hit. We got myself, we got Glenn, we got Lou, we got Dilly, we got Marcus. Dilly, you're not going to be able to make it, you said, right, on the 14th?
Unfortunately, no. And Marcus, I have a golf event next morning.
Hey, and Marcus is going to be able to sign up live and in person. He can sign up for the fantasy league and get him. He might be getting free margaritas. He can pay up for the fantasy league. Get him on board.
He doesn't want to play. He's with another league. That's fine. It's all good.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, you know who signed up? Chardall just signed up, so he's in the league.
Hey, Eric.
Is Marcus out?
Yeah, he's out.
I thought he was coming back to. He had to defend his title from last year. Oh, come on, Marcus. I was looking forward to Marcus was looking forward to the return.
If there's a spot open on the 14th, you might be able to convince me.
All right, we'll see.
I'm leaving one blank. I'm leaving one blank right now. Leave that 14th spot open.
Hey, Eric. One of the things we really haven't spoken about beside Tony V is our new coaches. I mean, obviously this guy's going with an approach, because I was very disappointed with Pat. Pat the Bat might have been the homeboy. Let's give him a chance, but he wasn't successful, and we had problems. The Giants had problems with the hitting. We had a horrible third base coach that everyone loved. I thought he was one of the worst in baseball. They replaced him. So at least we're getting people that have a game plan and aren't just following, hey, when I played 10 years ago, this is what we did. They're adapting to the league. With the hitting, so much was analytics. I love it that we now have a hitting coach saying, hey, guys, you go up with a game plan, because one of the things we had the biggest problem is we never hit behind the runners. We couldn't bunt. It was so funny. We'd have guys trying to bunt, and they'd almost hurt their fingers or break them. It was so pathetic that it was like, do they even take bunting practice? You know what I mean? So I like it that we have coaches that care about the game, and every at bat is different. So, I wanted to talk about that because I know last year, we rode Matty because I thought he was horrible at third base. I didn't like him at all. I don't know what he was doing. Pat the Bat, and I know it's going to be different, Eric, and maybe this is something we should talk about. Is last year, probably the most positive coach was our pitching coach that you loved. You were very disappointed he wasn't back. So it's going to be another adjustment because a lot of these young guys are used to a wait to go. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up. And I hope, Dilly brings up a great point where, hey, again, all we need is just a few more times of just making contact, and hopefully The other thing is getting someone like Arise, who's a professional hitter, can teach these guys how to be situation hitters.
You know what, Luke? He brings up a good point, and something I want to talk. I want to talk to Dilly and Marcus about this, and Glenn. We've talked about this before. Not only do we got some new players and just new players, but this is an entirely new coaching staff. There's no one that's left over. Nobody. They're all brand new. So that's going to also be a learning curve for some of these guys because they're going to be in positions that they've never been before. Some of them have, right? Like Tingler and Washington, they understand what it's all about. But some of these other guys haven't done this before. And the team has to get used to that as well because last year, right, the team had to deal with an entirely different coaching staff. Now you've changed the entire coaching staff. You got some of the, or mostly of the same players and a couple of additions. Something to keep an eye on. How is it going to take? And granted, you got a whole bunch of spring training games to kind of to form that relationship and that the camaraderie and all that stuff. But this is going to be something to watch, and Dilly, you kind of talked about it, with the hitting coach being on Splash Hits. It's good that because the Giants needed a change. There's no doubt about it because the approach, to your point, Lou, Pat Burrell just wasn't working. It just wasn't for whatever reason. I don't know if it was just going for the gusto with every damn swing, right? And seeing where it's going to go. I just want you to hit the ball wherever it's pitched.
Too many guys were trying to do things that aren't fitting their skill set. Like it annoys the crap out of me with Matos in particular. I think he's like the case study for everything. He's not a power hitter. He needs to be a gap to gap guy. He needs to be a doubles all day long, maybe a triple here and there, whoopee-doo, but he needs to just be the doubles guy. And he swings like he's trying to yank it down the left field line every single time. And that's just not his game because he either doesn't yank it down the line or he's a warning track guy every single time. And that like just murders his production. And then on top of that, I have a vendetta against him in the outfield just in general. He freaks me out defensively, but that's here nor there. He needs to just, be the spray it gap to gap, push it over to the right side. That's a foregone freaking skill set that no one has anymore. No one, if you're a right-handed batter, you don't hit it to right field anymore. Like that's not a thing. And that Posey was the king of that.
He loved doing it.
That awesome. Is his whole shtick. You can't shift on Posey because Posey would, you're on the left side of the field? Cool, I'll hit it on the right side of the field. Oh, you're on the right side of the field? Fine, I'll just take it up the middle.
Kruka Kipe said it a million times. If Posey was hitting it to right field, he was right. That means he was right. And
nobody freaking does that. Chapman has really strong
He's doing
hands,
it now. He's doing it now.
Can get it. He's him and Ramos, but Ramos doesn't do it very much. Chapman does it more consistently, but then more consistently at a 235 batting average. It's like, come on now. Like it only works if you're actually hitting the ball. So it's like stuff like that. They need to have better situational hitting and use guys how they need to be used. Like Jung-Hoo Lee was supposed to be this 300 batting average, hits doubles and singles all day long, like a Luis Arias type almost, just contact hitter, all that kind of stuff. And that's just not what happened. So there's no reason for him to have not been that type of guy. And he was supposed to also not be a strikeout guy. Like Jung-Hoo never strikes out. He always puts the ball in play. He's, if anything, whoopee-doo. He got like ground outs in the infield, but at least not a strikeout. And it just silly stuff like that.
You know what's funny? Because you talk about how many times last year, Glenn, you had a liner made up specifically for this. And this, remember this?
The team that just can't hit, that just can't score, and gives us more frustration. Be watching nightly, following Giants baseball, and find out which loss sends Eric and Glenn over the cliff. Giant Sports Talk Live.
Remember that? That's how it was, man, because it was they just couldn't get that.
No, but I noticed you didn't throw that promo away. That's it. No. It's in the archive.
It's sitting there.
It's in the
just in case. Just wait. It's
but I think I'm honestly, right now, we're talking about being hopeful. I think the Giants aren't. That's going to be more the exception than the rule, I think, this year. Good, because you're playing 162 games. There's going to be times
we've got a whole younger like philosophy set going on here, and I will stick by my guns. And I said it all year last year, and I'll say it until it's not true anymore. I think Posey is one of, if not the greatest people picker of all time. I think he sees things in people administratively and talent wise on the field that either goes overlooked or he's, and it's going to be a sketchy comparison, but he is like the embodiment of everything that on paper Farhan should have been when he was brought in, as in trying to improve the minor league system and the farm system, as well as bringing up these hidden gems that, oh man, I didn't know so-and-so. I didn't know whoever, pick a prospect that we have right now. Parks Harbor. Oh, even though, he was a highly rated prospect. But just anyways, I didn't know they were going to be as good as they are. And all of a sudden now they're a star and all this kind of stuff. So I think
don't throw around the word star. People throw around the word star a little too loosely, though. I mean, I thought, again, I think we're making more excuses. Last year, preseason, everybody was hitting the ball, Eric. Did not translate into a winning formula for the regular season. Who were our best clutch hitters on the roster last year, arguably? I don't think it's an argument. Who are our two best clutch hitters? Wilmer and Dom Smith.
Yeah.
Both not even here.
You know what? You could make an argument that Bailey was a clutch hitter.
He was, honestly, he was.
What? Come on, Dilly. Come on, Dilly.
No, with the walk-offs. I hear what he's saying.
With walk-offs.
Dilly, you're losing your credibility. Oh, my God.
With the walk-offs, no, he's not.
He had two walk-offs, Eric. He had two walk-offs.
Just saying.
I think Bailey had 7.
No, he had a few.
No, he had a lot of walk-offs.
Not just, he had dramatic ones in those two.
Yeah, that
too. He's had other moments, especially.
Not a good hitter, just a clutch one.
So let's talk about this. Glenn and Lou, Dilly just talked about how we're going to use young thinking. Well, it's not necessary. The young thinking harkens back to the days of just putting the ball in play. Right? That's what it's not. And here's the thing.
It's the basics. We overlook the basics.
Put the ball in freaking play and magical things can happen. You don't have to swing for the fences of every single freaking at bat. If the pitcher is pitching you away, don't try to freaking pull it because it ain't going to work. Go where the pitch is being freaking thrown. And guess what? You're going to have success. It's baseball, man. How many times, Glenn, remember I said, how many times did I say that last year in post games? It's baseball. So play baseball. It's not home run freaking derby. If it goes over the fence, is it dramatic? Absolutely. Everyone's going to be on their feet and, freaking cheering and hooping and hollering. But man, there's times where, hey, there's a guy over there at second base. It's only one out.
Don't make excuses, though. Don't make excuses. Again, Giant fans talking like Giant fans, Eric. No. Patrick Bailey had 2 walk-off home runs, or not even home run. His home runs were walk-off. He had 2 walk-offs last year. 2. He had 5 home runs on the season. He's just not that good, Eric.
I have some food for thought.
I'm sure it's going to be abstract. He's such an abstract hitter. That's all he is.
Some food for thought. Just before we wrap up.
Yep.
Let's say there's an imaginary player who plays average defense, and he never ever gets on base, but each at bat requires 30 pitches. How valuable do you think this player would be?
Would he be our leadoff hitter too?
You can put him wherever you want, but
just pick a Giant. Pick a Giant. Yeah.
What my argument, I think, would be that a batter who takes 30 pitches every at bat.
Every at bat, 30 pitches?
Yes, that's what I'm.
Yeah, you knock the starter out in the third.
So he's really good at being really bad.
So he never gets on base, but he takes 30 pitches every at bat. I think this player would be one of the most valuable players in all of baseball.
So I understand. Are you trying to feed that into Patrick Bailey?
No.
It's not really.
No. What he's trying to say is because what you're going to do is if you get 30 pitches out of a pitcher, the next guy coming up after this guy is going to absolutely freaking annihilate the ball because the pitcher's fatigued. That's what it is.
Not necessarily. Right? I don't want
think about
if the guy don't get on base, Eric. If the guy don't get on base, I don't want him. I want ball players.
See that. So this is why I think it's a fun question to ask.
It's interesting
to ask really entrenched baseball fans to kind of get a sense of how they think about the game and how they think about players.
Because you're wearing out that pitcher, man.
Because 30 pitches deletes every single reliever with one at bat. And it takes up a third of a starting pitcher's pitches for the entire game. So but the thing is that player never gets on base. So like all the classic ways that you would measure the value of a player fall really short. And the reason why I asked this too is not because I think this player will ever really exist. And that's not really it at all. Although Isaac Paredes has is a very valuable player because he has the highest average pitch count of batters in the major leagues. Great at pulling the ball at Dyken Park with the short porch with the Crawford boxes. But I think there's a lot of ways to evaluate how valuable a player is beyond the basic stat lines.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You're trying to go outside the box a little bit. Yeah.
That's why Lamont Wade and Belt were so good.
Yeah, but guys think, where did I get him?
Yeah, I got him.
That's the thing. Belt was a little bit different because he had a little bit more than Lamont.
Belt had more.
To offer.
Yeah,
but
Belt was
that's the basic concept with Lamont was that he just took a million pitches and then took his walk, and that was that. And
where is he now, though, Dilly? Where is he now? Yeah, so I think that answers the question.
That's what I'm saying.
You're taking it maybe too literally. If we have our hitters become tough at bats and fight in every at bat instead of striking out, foul off some pitches, take some borderlines.
I'm fine with that.
That adds up to how many.
That's what 2021 was so good about.
Hey Lou, Lou's quiet up there, Eric. Lou, if you're like me, Lou, would you rather just forget about that and just get me guys who can hit the ball like the Toronto Blue Jays last year? Put the bat on the ball, get hit. But they don't even worry about taking.
But they did do that.
Taking pitches, you ain't hitting the pitches.
But they did do that.
Hey,
that's the thing.
They
didn't strike out. They didn't strike out.
Their assistant hitting coach. So,
yes, for a reason. I think one of the things about this is you're talking really about what a responsibility of having a good leadoff hitter is. His job is not necessary to get on. It's to get as many pitches as possible leading off an inning, especially the leadoff guy. Say a pitcher, because usually a starting pitcher's toughest inning is always the first. So if you get a guy up there fouling balls off, maybe he goes more realistically, I think 10 pitches, not 30, but 10, maybe 12 at the most. Well, now you've taken 12 pitches. If this guy is good for 100, now he only has 88 for the rest of the 26 outs, and that's what makes a good leadoff hitter is making the starting pitcher work. He also can see how good it is. So he can tell the number 2 batter, hey, this guy's slider's easy to hit. It's right there. But, getting one guy for 30, I've never heard of that. I've never even thought of that, but
no, it was a hypothetical.
Yeah, but I also think one of the things is I'm hoping these guys know their job. I've been looking the lineup. We've had Adames leading off. Well, if we have, say, someone like Adames batting ninth, Adames leading off and Arias batting second or ninth, you got to know your role. When you're batting ninth, you got to try to get on because there's no more pitcher. So, you can get to the leadoff hitter. Now, if you get someone like Arias being number 9 and Adames now gets on. Now you have 2 also good base runners at the same time. So I think where you're batting the lineup, you got to know your position. It's changed since the designated hitter. One of the things we do is, oh my God, Bailey's coming up. Last year, our biggest problem was our guys batting 5th or 6th would come up, runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, didn't do anything, and then it was left between the 7th, 8th, and 9th batter, which aren't our best hitters in the lineup, and they didn't come through probably 85% of the time. So I think, it's important not only learn how to hit better instead of just old laying and being 0-2 is do the job you're responsible for. One of the things we always talked about late last year was, do these guys even know basic baseball? We never bunted. We couldn't score in runners scoring position, so we'd have a runner at second and a guy couldn't hit to the right, but we never tried to bunt him over. So at least a sacrifice fly would score him. A lot of it, small ball. We talked about when the Giants a decade ago, torture. We didn't even get that. Our torture it was even worse because we get so close, but we couldn't come through. So I just think,
yes,
this year we just really need, there's a lot difference. When you're leadoff hitter, you have a job. When you're batting ninth, you have a job. When you have runners scoring position, you have a job. We just need to get back to the basics and just do your job and don't overdo it. Just do it so you have a chance.
Do the simple things,
the
man.
ball, really simple. I think that's important.
All right, let's get the heck out of here. Hey, Marcus, Dilly, thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to close this thing down.
Yeah,
sure.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.
Peace
Hope
out.
Marcus will think about getting in that last place not last place in the pool, because he's got to defend his championship this year. Eric, want to see Marcus?
I realize, guys, this is why Margarita was invented. Shows like this.
Oh my God! Now that they're gone, Eric, I think talking abstract and talking about taking 30 pitches is only code for we're not that good and we need an excuse to talk about why the Giants.
No.
I don't get it. Come on, Eric.
No. I know what he's doing. All he's doing is saying there are other values in a player
I know, but listen, he's talking. What if a player Eric? We're talking about. But we're not even in reality. No player even faces 30 pitches.
No, that's not the
point. Was 21, and it happened once.
He's trying to say that even though you're at bat, you may not be standing on first base or coming around home or wherever, but if you got a lot of pitches out of that starting pitcher or reliever, you're helping your team be able to take advantage of that, whether it's getting into another or getting into their bullpen, whether it's getting that starter out that may have been tough. That's what I think. Honestly, it translates.
I see where he's going.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
The end of the day, the box score reads the team that scores the most runs.
Of course.
So not getting on base does not help me. I don't care. No,
but here's the thing. The Toronto Blue Jays did that a lot. They took pitches, they didn't strike out a lot, and they put the ball in play, right? So if you can do that, that's kind of how the entire roster of Toronto Blue Jays were like that. He's talking about just having one player being able to do that. But I'm just saying, if you got a roster full of guys who are going to take pitches, foul off pitches, and drive the ones that are going to that they're going to hurt, well, then, hey, you're going to be doing some business. So I get what he's saying. Oh, he's talking to his buddy.
Eric, that's why baseball is the best sport. You can talk to 5 people, and they all have 5 different opinions.
Yes, that's the beauty of this. That's glue. Exactly. That's why I like coming on here. We can only do so much with the chat, but when guys come in and are able to talk about it, and this is what I want to do at Tommy's, right? At Tommy's Mexican, we're all having fun. We're, hanging out and having some good food, good drink, but we're going to be talking baseball. This is what we're going to, instead of doing it for 2 hours, we're going to do it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if we're going to have it live or not. We'll see. More to come on that. So we'll see what happens to that. But anyways, you got anything, Glenn? I know you're trying to figure something out. If not, then we'll close it down. Oh, you're muted.
The Toronto Blue Jays were mid-pack in walks per team at 3.21 per game. So they weren't special for
walks. But where were they at strikeouts? I bet you they were really low.
Hold the fort.
I think, Eric, while he's looking at this, Toronto wanted the crooked number. The Giants are happy with just getting 1.
Oh,
that's a big difference. You know what I mean? And they had players that could do that. The one thing about Toronto's lineup, it didn't matter. 1, 3, 7, 9. They were all effective at doing what was part of the job.
Yes.
Ours, it's just when it got 7, 8, 9, it was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Oh, it was horrible, Lou.
I mean, my God, you just told me you guys set up a take. How much more torture can you have? And that's because of that.
Oh my God, we come on here every night.
And then we're talking about Bailey with the 7 homers and these 2 huge hits. the guy still batted what, 218 for the season?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, the Blue Jays were the I don't know who was number one, but were the second best team in strikeout percentage.
See, there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, man. And look, we got the assistant hitting coach. So heck, if the Giants can move up on the list,
Giants were 19th.
Yeah. See,
but again, Eric, you know what? I just think, for me, you guys may enjoy it, but Eric, I don't sit at the ballpark watching the game going, okay, here comes Chapman. I hope he faces 23 pitches this at bat. Eric, I want to see the ball.
I want to see the ball in play. Yes, I get it. No, I hear you.
And it's again, I'm going to start using, that might be my new magic word. That's abstract baseball. Because the guy comes up, let's say opening day, we got a Giant and Marcus will be in. He faced 30 pitches. It ain't going to happen again. So it's a moot point, really, isn't it? It's just, I mean,
it's a different. Hey, but that's the beauty of the game.
Eric, what if Ryan Walker goes 14-0 with 29 saves and a 1.18 ERA? Wouldn't that be great? But it ain't gonna happen.
But abstractly, if I look at those, let's get out of here, Lou. It was fun, man.
The Giants are no Picasso. I've never understood abstract art anyway, Eric.
We'll be back here Friday night doing.
I'm still looking for wins, Lou.
WBC post game.
Yeah,
Logan
nice.
Webb, right? Logan Webb is going to take the ball for Team USA.
No injuries.
Friday. And don't get hurt, please. And let's see. Let's get this WBC thing started. Let's go. All right, guys.
And like Marcus said, Eric, we've learned something tonight. Like Marcus said, we may be bad, but every other team's worse. So, hey.
All right, let's get out of here. See you guys Friday night. Woo!
Eric, good to have you back.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
Bill said it. Yeah. Good to have you back. Right?
All right, guys. We'll see you Friday night.
Oh,
woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.